In the summertime, when the weather is hot, you can stretch right up and touch the sky. When the weather's fine, you got women on your mind. Have a drink, have a drive, go out and see what you can find.
Welcome to the Alan Show.
Take her out for a meal. If a daddy's boy, just do what you feel.
Summertime.
You can count on a turn of 25.
Mango Jerry. Summertime 1970. Welcome to the Alan Show. This show is all about making you think. Sometimes what's there is not there. Let's review that. You know, my show is not edited. It's a one shadow cast. Just like life, right? One moment we're here, one moment we're there. It's all magic. Let's not take life so serious. At the end, he always wins, right? Woo. Do we know who we're playing against? Every day, right? Stretch it a little more. Whoop, whoop, whoop. This little guy, huh? Alright, guys. Come on, bring the spirit up. It's Saturday. Saturday, August 8th, 2020. COVID-19 pandemic. 8/8/2020. We began on March 13, 2020. Today is day 148. If not, correct me down below. But since we declare a national emergency here in the United States of America. Say hello to my little friends right here, Mr. Tommy.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? Hopefully you guys been doing okay. We took a little break here. Been working on other stuff, but hey, we're back. We're gonna bring this show up now. We're gonna bring it another notch, okay? So stay tuned. Don't be doing all that crazy stuff. Let me do all the stuff myself, because that way nobody gets hurt, all right? All right. Have a great Saturday, everybody. We'll see you soon.
All right. My new acquisition. Are we living among aliens? Wow. And the lovely and always smart Mrs. Clip. Hi guys, how you doing? Happy Saturday. I usually don't work on Saturdays, Monday through Friday, but today I made an exception. It's been a while, so I say hello. And the word of the day is purpose. All right? Word of the day is purpose. All right. All right, guys. The word of the day is purpose. And just like this song, summertime. The summertime. This summer has been challenging, isn't it? Not only the weather is usually really hot for humans, right? Like we don't know where to go, where to be. We have those heat waves going. It really hits the elderly really hard. And the young kids, get cranky. And, we gotta be creative, right? But first, let's light up our heart, light up our country, light up our world and one another, guys. We gotta light up one another. We're living in times where nobody's teaching anything. Times like this happens in history, where everybody knows everything and nobody can learn anything because nobody is teaching. Everybody knows the answer to everything. Well, we're going to try to break it down a little bit. But my show is not edited in scale, so hold on one second. We're going to investigate. We're going to make this magnified so we can see what's the problem here. I'm a little off track right now with my sequence, but Guys, say hello to the world, okay? This baby, I don't know how he put up with us. If it was me, I would have shaken all of you hello. Light up your coconut. Light up your coconut. It's only 99 cents at the hardware store. That's all it takes to light up your head. A commitment. Go get it as soon as possible. And guys, you know, the life is all about knowledge. You know, there's a little phrase that says, knowledge is power, right? And everybody hears it every day, and you see it everywhere. But how many people do actually believe it, right? But it's true, you know. I can tell you a history. I'm in my mid-50s. And I can tell you an entire story of my life where if it wasn't for these marvelous sources of information, I would have made the dumbest decisions in my life. And in the end, consequences meet you alone. Where are all your friends? Where are all the people? Your associates, right? Those wonderful associates. Where are they when you're in the jam, right? You see the court? You go to court? It's not a group of people. One by one. They don't care they care about what you did. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Because there's a lot of things going on out there. It's all associations. And all these associations. And these groups and this, that. And at the end, when all the scandal and the hoopla is gone, when the excitement and the crazy calm down, guess what? We have many people hurt, many people left alone, many people left behind by the crazy, right? So we're going to talk straight up. We're going to talk about purpose. The word purpose, per Google, if you search it, the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. The reason why you exist, why I exist, why we exist in this wonderful country called America. Right? Why we're here together. It's not an accident that you and me, we are sharing the same air, the same land, right, under this marvelous flag. Right? It's all part of a grandeur plan. It's not coincidence that I'm talking, maybe you listen, that one person that we want to help, that one person that we want to touch. Maybe this show helps you inspire, motivate you, illuminate you, or at least entertain you, okay? I'm not a comedian, I'm a salesman by trade. So I know a lot of pitching and convincing and, kind of like get people to sway one way or another just when you're trying to, offer some products that can be good for your life. But here I'm not selling anything. I'm just sharing because you all began right here around 3:19 when I said, well, I gotta see what I can do because I go do my walk every day and I say hi to people. I say hi to business owners. I've seen the struggle firsthand of people losing their business. A few stores already closed down. Some people losing their job. Friends that I have now working. Friends that lost their job. The whole thing is transformation. Right? This summer is transformation. Very hard to, leap into the new things. Right? When you've been so used to doing things differently. Right? Let's talk about what's going on right now outside. If you were to stay inside, how much of the outside really affect you, right? It's a rhetorical question for you to just, so we want to talk about purpose. What is the purpose? You have a situation, and then there is you, and what is your purpose during that situation? Let's say you went to war, right? And you were a soldier. So let's say you're a son, a brother, maybe a father, whatever, right? But then when you go to war, you're a soldier first, right? So what is the purpose of you in that? Yeah, you have all these other titles, all these other attachments to you that you carry with you no matter what. They're emotions, right? They're inside you, your family, relative. But when you're in a situation that dramatic, right? When you're serving in that purpose, and God bless all our troops, and right, thumbs up. Then you have to change the way you think, especially if you are taken from a comfort zone where is, let's say, the base that you've been stationed for so long, right? And then they say, well, you got to go to this place, completely different language, different country, or so forth, right? So it's the same thing happens sometimes when our outside gets transformed. Somebody gets fired. Yesterday you were ex-employee, and you were ex, a worker, like you did some kind of work every day, right? Today you're not. So what is the new purpose, right? So let's talk about purpose, because purpose is nothing more, and this is just my personal opinion from years and years of experience of teaching, learning, going through different kinds of seminars. I work for top companies in the world, and they had tremendous management and tremendous training programs. And by listening and by learning, and also in practice, by seeing these teachings in effect, exercise, in action, right? So life is nothing more than a learning experience. You know, I see that with like my grandma, right? She's just very, very up there in age, and she's still learning. Look at what she missed barely a pandemic before, and now she's in this one, her latter years, and she has to adapt. She has to learn. She has to embrace, and she's very adaptable. So those are the two key ingredients to making a life as long, as prosperous, and also to be able to conquer it, regardless of what the situation is. So here we have a situation that requires a purpose. So let's say something happened, you lost your job, you lost your school, whatever is it that you were doing before, and in the last 6 months, less than 6 months, right? We almost April, May, June, July, August, right? 5 months, almost 5 months since this all began. So the new purpose, right? Have you adapted yet to what's happening, not wearing the mask and all this? Now, a lot of people question these things because they have different points of view, but they also have another thing called your personal beliefs. Things that you believe in, and your principles, and those things that make you who you are. If you live in some parts of the country, people believe certain way. If you live in another corner of the country, people believe a little different, but we all speak the same language, use the same currency, and for some reason we are connected one another, right? By this thing called the union. So here's what we have. We have a situation that is foreign, right? In other words, it came from outside. It did not develop right here. It was not an epidemic. It's a pandemic, something offshore, off the borders, right? So here we are encountering all these kinds of changes, and a lot of these changes also are happening to be from outside to inside. Meaning these things have been activated outside before they even came to us. They were doing these things in Italy, Iran, and all these other places where they had this situation before, and now the situation got here, it got bad, and we had to be adapted to it. So what is the purpose of all this happening? Why is it happening to me and to you? Right? And why is it happening worldwide? Right? I have circle here. You see all these circles? My map is usually clean. But I'm circling a theater of problems that are around the world. We have problems here in a way of ocean situation. We have situations out here where it may develop like hurricanes or weather, extreme weathers. We have problems with certain countries in terms of their views and our views. We also have situations where between other countries that are developing, there's a lot of friction going on. And a lot of it has been developed in the last 5 months. It's been going on for a long time, but it has been magnified by the COVID and the situation with this pandemic, this international disease. It's nothing more than an international disease. So, what is the purpose? Well, let's go to basics first. If you're between 0 and 10 years of age, right, we know that when we reach that age, all we do most of our life is to be a pupil, right? Pupil of life, of learning, books, how to speak, how to understand when people talk to us, strengthen our physical, be healthy. We go from 11 years to 20, and now we are a young adult. We have learned a lot from our parents and our teachers, right? And we exercise some of that, with our younger peers, right? We try to be smarter. We try to be successful. We try to be, an achiever, right? And we start developing those characters. It all depends on the things that we've been taught and that we are learning. Whether it's school, colleges, families, relatives, friends, right? But then there is the one thing that is mystifying, right? Which is critical thinking. That person that decides to think different than somebody else and decides that he wants to see and prove the theories that he's been learning. It happened in the spiritual books, in some of the stories, right? It says, Jesus came to this person or such person, and that person wanted to see. That person wanted to touch. That person wanted to be a witness of a physical experience. Then we had evolution, right? What would happen if we never found any bones? Would you still believe that? But we finding all this stuff, so it makes you question it. Still, a lot of people don't believe in it. Some people are just 100% sold on it, right? Me, hey, I'm a salesman. What can I tell you? And then there is philosophy, right? Life stories of people, experiences, right? So what is the purpose of our existence? Well, it's to learn, right? 20 years. Some people, we open newspapers, say, 17-year-old something happened, 21-year-old something happened, and gone. Did not get to live a full, for whatever reason, natural accidents, things like that, right? So we cannot say that we are all meant to live, right? No. Because things are going to happen and it's going to break that, right? Obstacles. But it's how we use our critical thinking since early age that we can make a difference in our life. I'll give you an example. Being in my early teens, I heard all these people tell me things. Some things I did not find them to be very good for me and did not go along with what I believe myself. I believe I grew up religious, so I already had some base. So whenever somebody came in here, I went running to my priest or to the people that were related to what I was already learning, and I asked them, and they said, no. Those people, they do this and they do that. So why am I bringing this up today? Because a lot of things that you hear and see today has to do with that. You have your belief in what you are and the structure that you are, and you have a tremendous amount of certainty in you, but maybe you are a person in your 40s, 50s, and 60s. But what about our early young? I seen some footage recently that I could not imagine. All these young minds being driven into this incredible, I would say, pressure to act a certain way because the grown-ups. Not too long here, but right around here. Think is okay. Before you get here, you have to go through here. And if you were a rebel and you didn't like school, there's nothing wrong with that. But what did you do with that time, right? Did you invest it in learning something magical that made you a different type of person? But it's a positive thing. Or you just became a negative person, destructive, self-indulging. So it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like I said from the beginning, it's consequences. You pay them all by yourself. So a lot of things that are going on today has to do with the purpose. Learning has a purpose of transcending that learning, that experience. Imagine if every 100 years we start from zero again, from fire and will. We did not pass that wisdom, that intelligence, that science, that technology to one another. No, we just went back to fire and will. And again for 100 years. Wouldn't that be silly? Then life wouldn't have any meaning. That life would be like just a circle around, right? But we have this transcending, transforming, evolution, science, even God is full of evolution, because it talks of a world that is of worlds, right? So the basic is for the existence of the person, and this I'm telling you as a salesperson, because in order for you to be a good salesperson, you have to look at yourself as someone else. Because a lot of times everything that we have goes against that individual that can be successful in selling. Because selling is an art in a way, and it requires an inspiration of want to be helpful, of want to be accommodating. You have to have a lot of things. You have to have patience. You can't just get angry at your customers and blow them off. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to fill yourself with a lot of good spiritual feelings, and you have to love it too. Otherwise, that's why most people you hear, oh no, sales, no. Because it is an art. It is a form and a way of life. And a lot of times when you're a salesman, you tend to be secluded a little bit because of the constant dealing with people that solitude becomes like a little reward for it, because you've been contacted so much, right? So you get to, okay, I need a me time, and salesmen tend to be a little bit like that, right? And if you go to a party and you tell people you're a salesman, everybody runs different ways. So here we go. If you're in this area here and you're not teaching anything, even the cookie recipes, even anything, gardening, anything, then that means you're withholding information. And we talk about withholding information, taking us back to fire and will, right? What do you see out there? People trying to destroy history. Why? I can tell you why, but the key to it is regression, right? People are scared of the future. People not embracing the future. A lot of people have this mentality that we have to hurt to be better people. That the earth is about to collapse. And all of a sudden, humans who's been here for, they claim, people claim that we've been here thousands and thousands of years, but yet we're just going to go out in a few years. But if something were to hit the earth, does anyone is guilty of it? Of course not. These are events, just like I was telling you, when a young person dies from an event, going on a vacation, innocent, right? But it's what we learn and what we leave behind. Remember, we went to those caves and we open up, and then we found intelligence. But yet, we are treating ourselves like we don't deserve that. But yet, we are spending billions digging up holes, trying to find intelligence when the intelligence is overflowing everywhere. But we are being succumbed by anger and discontent of one another because we have been split and divided into different thinking. We are not a harmonious planet at this moment. And I'm speaking like this because it's too hot. If not, I would be like, but so it's not that. So how are we going to go back to harmony, to help these 7+ billion humans to reach their potential and their maximum and their optimum of existence through the line of learning, right? Life expectancy of a human around 80, right? But I see people living 100, and those are miracles. We should put statues of those people because they have a lot to teach us, right? So I don't want to make this way too long. Let's go quickly right here. Let's stop playing this game of hurt and pain, right? All these conflicts, wars, theaters, and people building and spending all this money so they can, in a moment. That's not intelligence. We preserve life. We save lives because we are life. But we have to learn how to do it. And we don't need to get caught in the gripe, in the anger, because there is more future coming. After one future, there's another future and another future coming, as long as you are learning in the positive things of life that indulges you. You can have all the life you want. There's no such thing as little life as long as you want it. It doesn't matter where you are. You could be in a box. It's all in here. Light up your heart. Light up your mind, your soul. 31 to 40. After you practice, right? You hear people say, practice law, practice medicine, practice, right? But at one point, you can't be practicing this when you're 70, right? No, you have to master these things, right? You don't want to go to an open heart surgeon and say, hey, here's your practice, doctor. No. I want somebody who already knows how to do this thing. But you see, things that you have to think about. Teach. And here's where we're failing. And we're not letting our elders inspire us. Actually, elders are being hurt out there. Excuse me. And so let's not get too caught up in the frenzy, my friends. And let's have a better summertime. But you have to teach if you already practice the master. If not,
you got women on your mind.
it's not going to be summertime for you.
Have a drink, have a drive.
Don't waste time.
You can find.
Practice. You already know it. Let's be less selfish and let's teach.
Just do what you feel.
If you are around this age, you need to be inspiring people. Get out there and inspire the world. Don't be afraid. The world needs everybody.
But we do as we please when the weather's fine. We go fishing or go sailing in the sea.